Okay, we're watching Silent playing ball. Let's take a gander, chat. See how this one plays out. First tank VoD in like a couple weeks now, I think.
You're in the presence of a legend.
Hello there. Oh my gosh, a hamster! So cute!
Do not call the hamster cute.
Oops, sorry. 可它真的太可爱了，雪橇。
他说闭嘴。
What the fuck just happened?
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna point this out straight away. Okay. Silent, how hard do you want me to go on you? How hard do you want me to go on you? Do you like, do you want me to point out like as hard as you want? Alright, gay cop. Okay. So, King's Row is actually a pretty good template for ball because the map is very straightforward and linear for you. And the way that you should approach this, right, is that you should never engage with pile driver straight away. Instead, as a ball player, you come out here like the way you are, right? Oh, that is a good pause right there. That is a good pause. He looks so happy too. You see him? That, I don't know how I keep doing this, but anyways, you grapple hook the way you did, right? And what I want you to do from this point is that I want you to drive through and hit as many people as you can on the way here. I want you to get your ball around here somewhere, and then I want you to wait, grab the health pack here if you have to, then I want you to go back and then hit them again on the way in. And the reason why we do this is that because you build a lot of ultimate this way, there's no need to go straight in and just like pile drive and try and get as much value as you can. Instead, what you want to do is you want to grapple through, get there, take the health pack, then you grab out there, and then you come back here and swing on them again. The reason why we do this is because a lot of the time, when you drive away and you go straight into them, you build like 30 to 40% ult charge by doing it. You get the health pack, and you kind of swing back when they least expect it, and you kind of push them forward. And at this particular case, the reason why we do this is that you kind of want to roll here slowly, you know, grapple hook this little window right there, right? And then you want to hit as many as you can, and then we pile drive. And the reason why we do this is because when you hit them from the back, you're pushing them into your team. And if you pile drive them, they'll fly up in the air, which allows your team to get more value because they're static in the jumping emotion, right? What you're doing here essentially is by grapple hooking here, slamming in here, and then just like pile driving straight in the middle, you're not really doing much, right? If any case, the Saris is going to bubble herself, or, you know, you stand in the way. You need to sort of like be a little bit more unpredictable when it comes to these slams, right? You can't just like grapple hook in, hit one target, pile drive. You're going to die like immediately, right? Instead, you want to set up your pile drives where you come from the back, where they least expect you to come from. So I just want to point that out. And that is also how ball players in general build their ultimate really, really fast, is that they will grapple in, slam as many people as they can on the way, get away, grab a health pack, rinse, repeat, come back, and do the same thing, but from the back, right? So try and keep that in mind.
I see an enemy.
Prolific hamster cursing detected.
Bless you. Thank you. A little bit better. It was good isolating the Bapties there. I'm not gonna complain about that. That was good.
Close range target eliminated.
Let me balance you out. On my way.
It was good that you held your ultimate there because you had already won the point, right? Burnson 74 months, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. No more fucking subs, chat. I fucking told you earlier. No more fucking subs, chat. I'm crazy. That's good. It's good. You have good target priority thus far. I like it.
The enemy is here.
Save your ultimate for this fight. It's good. Okay, they go Reaper to try and counter you instead.
Calculating trajectories.
So, now let's talk about the ultimate, right? I like the fact that you held it because you understood that you already won the first fight, so you felt like you didn't need to do it, right? But in this particular case, right, you already know that generally speaking, I actually don't mind that you don't fly up in the air here and try and go for like a high ground or like an up above kind of mine. One of the few issues that ball mines suffer from is that the higher up you're in the air on like a map like King's Row, it'll get stuck on like trajectories, like corners like this and blah, blah, blah. And I actually like it that you kind of do it on low ground here for the sole purpose that, you know, it might just, like half of them might just get stuck on the fucking rooftops or whatever. So I think this is a good play. However, the positioning of the mines could be a lot better. Now, the way I want you to do this instead is that if you're going to do your mines, right, is that you can kind of like set up a pile drive, like from like high ground if you have to. It doesn't have to be like all the way up above, but the way you want to do this is that you kind of want to come from the back again, right? We don't just want to do a dry, like mined ultimate just out of the blue. We don't want to do that because people have, you know, even in this rank, which I'm not revealing, but even in this rank, people have way easier time to react to it when you're doing it on low ground. They can just kind of like back off from it. And in this particular case, your mines aren't really getting any value. Instead, what you should be doing here is that you want to get from the back. Again, you kind of want to grapple hook here and then shove them into the corner, right? The corner right here. And then you can mine, right? Doing a mine like this has no value. Instead, you need to be a little bit more sneaky about how you do it. So you want to come from behind. You want to grapple hook from the corner here or whatever. And then you just like slam them into the wall, right? The wall right here. And then you kind of just want to use your mines as a means for them to be trapped in that corner. Does that make sense, Silent? Does that make sense? Even better, you could have done it from the back here where you kind of like pop them here in the middle so they don't really have a way to run. But I feel like slamming them into the corner from the back would have been way better if you wanted to do a dry ult like this. But yeah, I just want to point it out. This ultimate got no value because of that reason. Good, we didn't overstay our welcome because we understood the Reaper was there. I still think slamming them into the wall, Silent Boy, would have been way better. It's also good practice. Oh. Unlucky.
Over here.
The spring flows anew.
We need to move the payload. I see an enemy square.
Over there.
Shouldn't have put your head there.
Decent. Your mate might have gotten you killed, and she sure did. It's okay, you're playing a 6v4 right now. It's a good practice.
Recalibration is complete.
I see an enemy.
Claw locked.
With the payload, Bogovish.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Don't need to. Oh. That's a wasted ult, IMO. Did not need to do that. So I kind of want to point something out there. You pile driving at that location is a very, very scary. The higher rank that you go up to, the smarter the Lucio players become. And I can tell you right now, if this Lucio player was a little bit smarter, he would have repositioned himself in a way where you are going to hit him, so he gets airtime, and he would actually straight up boop you into the left there, right? So you die. A lot of Lucio players do this. They kind of just get up in the open, and they want to get hit for the kind of like bait out the Hammond pile driver, and then when they get airtime, they then boop you at the same time, so you actually slam into the pit, right? And this is something I want to warn you about, because like Lucio players, the higher rank you go, become a lot more smarter, kind of where they allocate their boops. You're lucky that this guy is kind of brain dead and he's not really playing that well, but for what it's worth, you need to be a little bit careful when you have like edges in this, because if you die here, it's kind of bad for your team, because you're sort of like having a snowball effect right now. It's a small thing, but I kind of want to point it out anyways. And also, the ultimate on the last point wasn't that great, because you were already 5v1. There's no need for you to ult there. Good usage of melee. Chat, never underestimate meleeing. It's really strong. It's very, very strong.
May I?
I'm giving you guys such valuable tips left and right, and I'm getting 0 pens and papers. What the fuck is going on, man? This is gonna be on the final exam. You better be taking notes.
Taking flight. Rise like the sun.
Okay.
Sailing up.
Not bad. How fucking fast are this little fucking vermin slash rodent build ultimate? What the fuck am I looking at? Oh. Oh. Need to be a little bit careful. Need to respect the ultimate there a little bit more, okay? Need to be slightly more careful how we engage. But we got the Lucy ult out, so now we can actually ultimate on the point.
My ultimate is ready.
Fuck ball! Fuck ball!
60 seconds remaining.
Nice. Very nice ult. Play to survive. Play to survive. I see the ads. Chat room, I see the ads. Don't worry. Sorry, chat. I was just like vibing out to the song. Sorry, I got a little bit caught off guard there. I was so mesmerized about the tunes, I had to like listen to it a little bit. Sorry about that. Yeah. So one thing I want to talk about, Silent, is that we need to play a little bit more to survive, right? And right now we're not really getting punished for what we're doing. You should be getting a lot more punished, but we're not, right? So from my point of view, if we already have ult, there's a couple things that you need to have like a checklist of, right? If you already has ultimate, right, and we're kind of looking in ways to like set it up, we also need to have like a plan of how we want to set that up, right? And if we're not having a plan, we kind of don't want to just like run around and give enemy team ult charge. Instead, you kind of wait a little bit and kind of like set it up properly and like have more of a game plan of where you want to use your ultimate. There's no point for you to sort of like stand around and just go around the point and kind of like just give the enemy team like an ult charge when it's 40 seconds left on the clock and we're about to push it in. Instead, I kind of like you to play this more like figure out how you want to use your ultimate, go in, do it. If it fails, so be it. But in this particular case, we don't really want to give the enemy team anything at all, right? So for this particular case, you like standing around the payload and going around and just like letting the enemy team build ult on you. I don't generally like that because this is most likely going to be last fight, right? And since Ball is so fucking chunky and fat, fuck this rodent, you're sort of like giving the enemy team actually an opportunity to sort of hold this point from your team, right? So if we play this a little bit smarter and we don't really let them do as much damage to us as possible, we also reduce the chance of them getting ultimates for the last fight. That's why it's so important that when you play a character like this who's pretty chunky, we don't want to give them any chance to actually, you know, hold this, right? So if we have ultimate, we have a game plan, we set the game plan, we do it, we execute it, and then we hope for the best. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. I kind of just want you to play a little bit smarter.
Try climbing that. Push forward, push forward.
Grudge list.
30 seconds remaining.
Let me keep
Calculating
got you.
trajectories.
This is our last chance to attack.
The ultimate before that, though, was pretty good. Okay. Yeah, that was a poggers easy crap non-ragey good map. Or a good half.
0
Sorry.
to 3. Switching sides. Ready for battle.
Weapons operational. Grapple. Prime. Hamster. Bomb.
The world is a dream not yet realized. More field research? Grand.
Outbound.
Lying to bend the truth.
A Vishtar architect always completes her task to perfection.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers
Hold on.
incoming.
What is this? Hey iddqd, I just went by the recap. Thank you so much for the review. It was very helpful. I don't know if you saw it, but before we started coaching series, I was bronze, and now you're unranked. Congratulations, man. I'm really glad that you D-ranked, dude.
You cannot escape me.
Okay, now they have a Roadhog. I want to see how you play this. Need to be a little bit careful there. Okay, good Susu. Chad, am I the only one who feels like Ball builds ultimate way too fucking fast? Holy shit.
Enemy here. Rise like the sun. Watch out.
I was just about to say this. This is an extremely unfavorable fight for you. You never ever want to chase a Roadhog into like a small place like this, right? On the offset that he has ultimate, right? This is a huge misplay. We really do not want to engage in this fight, and this is the one thing that's gonna kill us over and over again. You kind of want to let your team handle the Roadhog, if anything. If you're gonna engage the Roadhog, you need to do it in an open space, right? Never ever chase him into like a small corridor or a very tight space. You know what I'm saying, chat? Don't ever chase a Roadhog into a very tight space. It never works out. You kind of want to take this fight on the open. If you're going to chase him, it needs to be out in the open, right? You can't chase him into a small, tight corridor like this. It's too tight. So yeah, kind of want to point that out. I knew this was coming. I just wanted to see how you're going to deal with it. But yeah, this is a very risky play.
Plotting course and vengeance.
Dhanyabad.
Deine Pflicht ist nicht getan. Mendoksa.
Calculating trajectories.
Okay. Nice. Go around them. Yeah, sure, why not? Decent ult. What the fuck? Huh? Mercy? Wait, hold on. I need to see that from her perspective. What the fuck did I just witness? What was that? Hold on.
Heroes never die.
I could use some assistance.
Huh?
Your end is within.
What? Okay, I mean... Fucking PP Mercy, man. Okay.
Protecting.
I kind of like the way you play around the pillar, though. Yeah. Oh, they're using every ult in the game right now. You're not gonna win that.
60 seconds remaining.
Is Ragey the best, the best 7 TV emote? It could be, dude. Fucking Ragey! Okay, we have ult here. You wanna hold the ultimate? Yeah, you wanna... Oh. So, one of the really good ultimates you can do with ball is, particularly in this point, we don't really want to go in here for the offset that you might get stuck like this. You have to respect the hook. You have to, right? There's no shot you're going to survive when they hook you and they Discord orb you from the sun and you take like 30% more damage and you're kind of just going to turn into mincemeat, right? Instead, what you got to have to do here is you got to have to play it smart. You got to be waiting a little bit. And this goes back to what we talked about on that first engagement that you did on the point, right? Like the very, very first fight. Is that you need to go around them, right? And you need to play a little bit smarter, play like over here if you have to, kind of see where they're at. When the payload starts to get closer into that little cubby, like in here over this, whatever the fuck, when it goes under like right here, right? This is what you want to do. You kind of want to grapple from there, throw him in, right? So you're throwing them into your team, and then you want to ultimate, right? Doing it this way, it seemed to me like it didn't really have a plan because the Roadhog always saw where you were, and he was just kind of waiting for you to actually go in, hook you, you get Discord orbed, and you get fucking turned into mincemeat, right? And that ultimate is effectively just wasted. So I would rather that you play a little bit smarter, go around if you have to, and kind of just like, you know, peek like this and wait for it, right? And when the moment is, you know, when the moment is nigh and it's time to strike, you kind of just like grapple hook there, you do the same thing again, you push them forward, and then you drop the bombs, kind of like, you know, around here. That's how I would have played that instead. Going in like this and being very telegraphed is you're making it easy for the enemy tank to take control of the situation. That's not what we're about. We're all about randomization, and we're trying to be as unpredictable as we can. That hog saw everything that you were doing. He probably also knew that you have ultimate as well. So we kind of played into his, you know, trap card, if you will. And there are ways around this. We just have to be a little bit sneaky about how we engage from these positions. Chad, does that make sense?
Time to save the world? Game on!
Oh, Diva. Okay. Harley, 34 months. I appreciate your ass. Thank you.
It's doing VODs. Awesome.
I'm standing up! Nothing gets past me!
Okay.
Initiating defense matrix.
I fucking hate this character. They swapped the Saria to counter it already. Were you trying to take the teleport there?
Reality bends to my will.
You definitely try to take the teleport. I think that's where I went wrong. It looked to me like you're trying to take the teleporter and you just didn't able to reach it. I wasn't?
To my will.
60 seconds.
Don't move. Enemy here.
Double.
Neutralizing projectiles.
30 seconds.
If you didn't tunnel vision on the Lucio here, and you actually defense matrix to high noon, you would have saved both your supports from dying, right? So this is a case of you tunnel visioning the Lucio. It doesn't matter. It's still 22 seconds on the clock. So even if you in the offset gets the kill on Lucio here, it doesn't matter. He's still going to respawn and been able to retouch. So this is a case of like tunnel visioning, right? And if you essentially just kind of like turn around and you right click the high noon, both of your supports would have survived and you probably will win this fight. One thing that I'm noticing straight off the rip is that you can use your boosters a lot more, right? Right now, we're barely using them. You're kind of using them every once in a while, but boosters you should almost try and use like on cooldown. Like you should try and use them as much as you can. And a great way to sort of like, you know, dip the damage and do a little bit more is that one of the strongest abilities in the entire game is Defense Matrix. It's fucking stupid. Like, yeah. And what you want to do in situations is that you want to save your rockets for whenever you have to do Defense Matrix in like a 101 or something. Say you get chipped down a little bit and you start having like, I don't know, say 150, 200 HP. You can pop your rockets and then Defense Matrix so you do damage while the Defense Matrix is going. And when they like throw your cooldowns at you, you can kind of shoot in between if you have to, right? But one thing I'm not seeing a lot is that you're not boosting, and whenever you're boosting a target, you're not meleeing them either. So you want to boost, right? Fly into them, get that little extra knockback, but you also want to melee at the same time for that little combo damage. It's a very important thing in attack with D.Va that a lot of players do, and you need to start doing that as well. Another thing I'm not seeing is that if you really want to be cheeky, you can also kind of use her boop, her little fucking, you know, little shift thing, her boosters as a means to reposition an enemy hero as well. If some of them is moving up close to you and they're alone and they're out of position, you can kind of like, you know, rotate a little bit. Like hypothetically, let's say that you are a Cole right here, right? What you can do in this position, say you're kind of fighting like this. I'm you and this is like another D.Va, right? If you do like a little thing like this, right? Do a little, you know, a little cheeky thing like this. You can then boost, boom, and boop them into the team, right? So you kind of reposition them. So if they're in a bad position, you can make it far worse. That's another thing I want you to understand, that repositioning with boop is actually quite powerful. And whenever you boop someone, always melee as well for that little extra crispy damage. So I want to point that out. You're not doing that enough, and I kind of want to point it out. Die, trash. What's up, Musia? How you doing, buddy?
Teleporter taking ship.
I would have played around the point a little bit more there. That's what I would have done. I think playing around the point there is slightly more important because we want to build our ultimate, right? So I feel like it's slightly more important to stay alive there since it's overtime. So you're kind of like annoying them a little bit more. Like taking a fight like that straight up in the open is too risky. You have the Defense Matrix for 6 seconds, and after that you're literally you're dead, right? Gotta be a little bit careful with Ryan here. You can't go out like 2v5. You have to wait for your team with Ryan. He can't do anything unless he has his team with him.
60 seconds.
It's a really bad stagger happening right now. Again, you have to play it a lot more careful. You can't go out with the rest of your team.
Payload is approaching its destination.
Now we're going ball. Okay. So, honestly, even from like that second kill, like even from their first fight that occurred on the second point under that little bridge thingy, your entire team was staggered for that entire duration. You didn't have a single full team fight until that point. And unfortunately, we played a role in that as well. You know, we kind of solo pushed. We didn't wait for our team. We kind of went in without the help of our supports. I don't know if it's just like not thinking or anything like that, but staggering and snowballing in this game is extremely effective, right? And if you're on the receiving end of the snowball effect, you have to kind of like take a second, gather as a 5-man group, look at your ultimates, and kind of make a plan from there, right? If you have a team that doesn't talk, then you still have to wait for your team to sort of like respond, so you're in a 5v5. Jumping out like, you know, 2v5 like that, it's not good. Even though the pressure of the clock and then like, you know, being able to almost push in the payload, you still sort of have to wait. Man, I got a fart. Give me 1 second.
Such a nuisance of themselves.
Is that an emotion I detect, Lacroix?
False alarm, I shit my pants.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A. Engage the
So, even more so than before, right? Silent, do you understand a little bit what I talked about when I said, like, we want to, you know, grapple in, hit as many people as we can, escape through the little, you know, LOA/tunnel here, take the health pack, rinse, repeat. You understand the importance of that right now, do you? And how important it is? You know, we kind of don't just want to go in and, you know, pile drive and take all this damage for no reason. We can play so much more smarter than this. We can like go in there, you know, maybe force some cooldowns, take the health pack, get full, wait for your E, and then kind of rinse, repeat, do it again, right? Where we kind of like, we take the offset position over here at that angle, and we kind of force them, and we slam them in, you know, slam them into the, to the choke, and then we pile drive. Does that make sense to you? Because right now we're not getting any value. You know, we're getting zero value right now. We're kind of playing frustrated, and I can tell that you're kind of getting a little bit annoyed. But the reality of the situation is we're doing a lot of positional errors right now where we can kind of like, you know, drive through, and they can't stop you. I mean, they have a Widow and a Torbjorn. Like, they're not going to chip you down if you drive straight into them. You go over here, take the health pack, and then like come back, and then you push them into the choke, and then you pile drive, so your entire team is like, you know, can see them. Also, we need to stop shooting Sorry Bubbles, right? Unless we pop them for the sake of like getting an actual kill, we should never like shoot at the Sorry Bubbles and like just give her free energy. This is going to be really tough to deal with, and she's going to be able to maintain some of it. I wouldn't be surprised if she's like 60-70% right now, and it's really difficult to like get that, like, unless you kill her, it's going to be difficult for you to actually remove that charge. But it looks to me like, you know, with a little bit of practice and you kind of integrate these tips into your gameplay, you're going to make a huge difference in your ball play. Slam him, choke him, put him in a stew.
30 seconds remaining.
We will crush them.
No, you're not allowed to vote on the poll, iddqd. If we see that they vote, we cancel the vote. Players who get VoD reviewed are not allowed to vote. Okay, I would have liked that you stayed on ball there, but I understand why you went Sario. I get it. That's tough, man. Like, we did really, really well on attack, and now we kind of just fall apart, you know? Kind of just fall apart. Yeah, I had a classic Hershey shirt moment, you know, little Hershey squirt. You know, I pressured a little bit too hard, and now I have a little chocolate mousse in my pants. It is what it is, dude. It happens to everyone. All right, let's see. What do you do on defense, though? Let's see.
Ready for battle.
Okay, we do Saria.
If we do this right, they won't even know what happened.
Fuck you, Kiriko. No one cares. We're gonna fucking flay you and your fox.
Stay in sight, and I'll keep you safe.
Thank you. Alright, let's see how you do this. So they have a Widow, they have a Tracer.
4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I mean, you can draw this. It's how the fuck did the Moira kill the Widow? How the fuck does that happen? Nice shield. It's good. Pressure the coal. Okay. Need to right click a lot more. Yep. You need to right click a lot more, Silent. Like a lot more. When they're up close and personal to you, right clicking meleeing over and over again should never be underestimated. Like here, right click. Just fucking spam into them. Nice. Punish the monkey. Eat his fucking ass. Eat his fucking ass. Get him out of here. Nice. Get the coal. Right click. Okay. Ended up in a draw. Right? Ashy Ash, thanks for the 33 months. I appreciate you. Okay. Well, on Saria, we need to right click melee a lot more. Right? We got a little bit lucky that the enemy Lucio was feeding his fucking brains out that entire game, so lucky for us that happened. The good thing is that you have good target priority when you play ball. You also have decent target priority when you played Saria, but it seems a little bit off when you play Reinhardt and when you play Diva. Your target priority seems a little bit all over the place. I'm going to focus more on ball because it seems to me like you enjoy playing ball the most, and that's the most that you played this game, or this round, so to speak. We talked about how to engage and how to engage from the back in the fort. You know, Sarah's sort of kind of being a little bit more elusive in the way we position ourselves. We also went through how to lay up like a proper game plan where we want to use our ultimate, right? And how important it actually is to do that. I think that your ball has a good target priority, and I think that you play it pretty well. It's just that we need to be smarter about how we regain our ultimate, right? We need to be smarter how we position our ultimate as well. We need to make use of high ground. We need to make use of being a little bit elusive, a little bit sneaky. And it seems to me like the way you attack people on ball is pretty smart as well. You shoot, you melee, you shoot, you melee. Like you do that rinse repeat. And obviously meleeing in this game is pretty strong. You know, I think a lot more people should use it and abuse it. But for what it's worth, I think the 2 points of feedback that I have for you is that you need to be a lot smarter with your bombs, man. Like, when it comes to the ultimate, we need to think about a plan, we need to execute it, and do our absolute best to get it from point A to point B. Right now, it feels like we're kind of panicking and telegraphing our ults. Like, every single time you ulted, it was very clear that the enemy team knew it was coming, right? And there's not really anything that you can do to stop them from knowing that you have it, but the way you can play around it is that you be a little bit more unpredictable from where you're coming from, right? If you, for example, like grapple hook straight into the herd of enemies, I mean, they're gonna know. right? But instead, if you move around, you take a background position, you play like, you know, a little bit further back and you kind of slam into them, or you grapple hook into them from the back, and then, you know, as you swing up, you pile drive and ult, different story, right? Then you're being a little bit more unpredictable and you can't be as telegraphed as you were previously. Another thing is you need to understand what kind of powers that you're up against when you're kind of fighting a Roadhog. Never follow a Roadhog into a tight corridor or a tight well, right?